See, I think the steps that the government has taken is in the right direction, right? Because when you are trying to change the landscape, you need to put the right policies in place, and these policies will take time to come into effect in the marketplace, right? So I think the steps that the government has taken on the employment and employability, which is around the skill area, is an extremely important step, right? The investments that they have promoted in the infrastructure side, opening up of new cities, bringing up the agro industry up, again is in the right direction. And obviously looking at defense and insurance and opening the FDI. So I think these are the right steps in the right direction, and let's see, because once next year they have an opportunity to give the full budget, right, we will be able to measure the progress of the current initiatives and what steps they take in the 2015. See, on the internet side, I think they are talking about digital economy now. So it's good for companies like us in the digital space, and I completely agree with the government initiative that going forward, if you have to engage people at the grassroots level, mobile and internet is the way to do it. That's the right way to bring the engagement about, right? So if you look at our latest, that is the July Monster Employment Index report, it's showing a 25% increase year on year, which is again a very healthy trend. That means the businesses are looking positive, they are bullish, they expect things to change in the coming future, and hence they are putting their hiring plans also in place. Our report tracks about 27 industry sectors, and out of that 24 is showing a positive year-on-year growth. And if you look at large labor-intensive sectors like production manufacturing, automotive, construction, IT industry, banking, financial, all are showing a positive year-on-year growth, right? So these are healthy trends from an industry perspective, from the business perspective, and going forward we expect these trends to furthermore consolidate. So I would like to put a different twist to this particular question, because the HR fraternity and the business are talking about attrition, retention for a long time. I think the question is more about how do we increase the talent pool. Because the talent pool is not increasing, there is a war of talent amongst the organization because all of them are going towards the same pool. What you need is the education, the corporates and the government sector need to come together so that the education institutions are closely linked to the corporate needs. They are bringing out talent which can be deployed easily, right, from a skilling perspective, from the business know-how perspective. And government has to act as a great facilitator, setting the right framework, policies, etc. That's the way forward. If we do not act upon it, because on one hand we say, we are in a strong position, we have about 50% of the population 20 years of age, right? But we have to put this population to work. If you don't do that, you are going to lose business to other countries, wherein they are almost at the same cost parameters, etc. So I think this is what the way forward is. And if you really want to address the issue, you attack this first, maybe look at a 5 years horizon. And the second component is from an attrition perspective, what does your employer brand stands for? Do you walk the talk? Because this is what employees actually can relate to, right? How you are keeping your employees engaged. What is the kind of communication strategy do you have? Are we only talking about pay packets, or we are also talking about learning, growth, responsibility, etc.? So I think attrition issue or a retention issue is a much larger component, wherein we need to look at not only one but multiple facets, and each tool has to contribute towards that particular objective. The way the businesses are moving is, what I said was, every organization is looking at what's the next big idea, right? Because you can grow your business or sustain your business up to a particular point by bringing in operational efficiency, right? But since the changes in the outside landscape is so much, for example, today, the way consumers absorb and access information is completely different from the way they were doing it 2 years back. And we don't know what changes will come in 6 months down the line. So from that perspective, every business needs to identify with an accuracy saying what's going to happen and how their business can align to the changes which are possibly going to happen and capitalize on that, right? The first mover advantage in today's business is the key. For example, in Monster, we also have a saying, today the market does not need a completely perfect product, because if you look at a perfect product, then you are late in the market, right? So speed is the essence. With some kind of an accuracy, predicting what's going to happen is the essence, and then what changes you need to bring in internally is the key. So if you can integrate that, you will be in a far more stronger position to sustain and grow. As I said, the issue is not about supply so much as it is about employability. If you hear what the organizations or what the business leaders are saying is, they are saying we do not get talent. They are not saying we do not get applicants. Applicants are coming, but the rejection rate is too high because they don't bring the right skills onto the table or they don't have the right know-how. I think that is the core of the problem which needs to be addressed.